Okay, so today we'll take you through My Avon Office and just point out a couple of things. You guys probably know much more about My Avon Office than I do. And maybe next time you guys can share your tips and tricks with me. But I thought that we'd do a nice overview and just see if there is anything maybe new that you can learn. Because remember, you get very comfortable with what you do on a daily basis, and sometimes you don't realize that there's other functionalities available to you. So today I'm hoping to be able to share a couple of those, and maybe you can walk away from this with something new that you didn't know already. So as always, pop any of your questions in the chat, and then we'll go through them towards the end. And if we don't have enough time, we will come back to you with the answers afterwards. So My Avon Office has been running for quite a while now. As you guys know, it is a nice way for you to look at your reports in a more visual kind of a way. And it basically is a way to manage your team by the exception. So you can immediately see when you log in what needs some action and what is necessary for you to do to move your team forward. You obviously know that you can also access your weekly report packs at the bottom here. You guys can all see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Cool. So at the bottom here, you've got your reports download where your pack reports will live. But essentially what's happening in My Avon Office is taking those pack reports, crunching them and chipping them and chopping them into ways that will give you the exceptions so that you can see immediately what needs to be done. So if you're not an Excel guru or into that kind of thing, you can still see what you need to see without having to pivot table and chop and change your data from an Excel form. All right. So when we log in, I'm using my test account. So there's not a big, massive team underneath it. There's only one or two people underneath. So we're not going to see the long team list that you guys will see when you log in, obviously, because your teams are nice and big. My test account is only got one or two people in. So quick whip through what we see when we land. Right at the top, you've got your little search magnifying glass, that's not right. Magnifying glass at the top here. So as always, you can just click here and you can quickly search your downline and find someone in particular if you're looking for them. Any of your notifications will appear here in the little bell. So remember, you used to have your notifications on the right-hand side here. Which would have been, the right-hand side would be your notifications, on the left-hand side would be your alerts. And in your notifications, you would see if it was somebody's birthday, you would see if it was their Avon anniversary, you would see if you had set yourself a certain note and the reminder was popping up there. So now those goodies are all going to appear here in your little bell. So you've got a little circle there that'll tell you how many notifications you've got. If you've got any, you just click on it and you can see them from here, and you can also click on each of the notifications to take you where you need to go. You've also got a quick short link that'll take you into going to add a new appointment. So if you click over here, it'll take you straight into the online appointments tool. Online appointments is actually a completely separate tool that we have linked through My Avon Office so that it's all in one place and it's easy for you to go and access it. But over here, we've got a nice little short link at the top. Let me just go back to our dashboard. My network is incredibly slow today, so I apologize in advance. Okay, so at the top here, a little trick which you may have noticed on any of our websites. If you click on the Avon logo, whether you're in GR3, Avon, My Avon Office, My Avon Store, etc., if you click on the logo, it immediately takes you back to the homepage. So that actually works on most websites. If you land up and you've gone through far too many pages on a website and you just want to go straight back to home, always just click on the logo and it usually takes you straight back. So that's a little tip that we can tell you here. Over here, you will see your name. And if you click on the little down arrow, you can click on your profile. You can go immediately to the help, to log out. You can do the virtual tour. We will click on the profile. And what it does is it takes you to the business card of information that is all about you. So usually you can do this with anyone in your team by clicking on their name on a report, but an easy way for you to see your own profile is to click on your name at the top there. And here you will see all of the information pertinent to you, your zone, your LOA, etc. What is your outstanding balance? When was your last invoice? What's your credit limit? Whether or not you've got an open store, and whether or not your store is active, and then any tags that would have been applied to you based on your performance so far. So you can see the tags that are applied to me. I'm upcoming removal. Why? Because I haven't placed an order for a while. I have got a held order, and I'm going to lose my title if I'm not careful. Okay, so it's telling me these things the same way it would tell me about my downlines. If I've got any notes that I'd like to make, I can make them here so that they can, and I can set a reminder date, and then where will they appear? Appear in our notifications on that particular date. And then here I can see my financial tracking. So similar to what you see in GI3, this is your balance, when your payments were made, when in credits were made, etc. And you can also see your order tracking. Again, same as GI3, same information, all these particular orders, what their status is, etc. If I click on the little pink arrow, I can see what's inside that order and the order date, etc. So I can see a nice little summary of what's going on over here. I can also still do my campaigns and filters, etc., the way that I can do with the rest of my team. Okay, and over here I can also see my performance comparison information in a nice summarized way. So this is just what you can see inside your profile. I'm showing you this because obviously you can see all of this type of thing on the different pages of My Avon Office in any case. But what is important to note is if you click on any of your reports and you click on a sales leader's name and it brings up their profile, you will also have access to all of this information. Okay, so that is the profile page. What you'll see over here is the hamburger menu. And the hamburger menu, as I've said to you guys before, hamburger menu is a nice quick way to get anywhere you need to through the various pages within the site. It usually works on any website that has a little hamburger page. That's your springboard to all the different pages that you'd like to go to. What it also does is it works really nicely on the mobile page. So you'll remember the way that My Avon Office was in the old structure. You had all the tabs at the top here, but it made it a little bit uncomfortable when you were on a mobile phone, where the hamburger bar is a much better user experience on a desktop and on a mobile. So from the hamburger menu, I can again see exactly where I am in the campaign, what campaign I'm in, and all the different pages I can jump to easily from here. What I'd like to do is I want to go back to the home page and I just want to talk you through the dashboard a little bit more. Right, so the first thing that you see once you've scrolled down is your alerts. So in your alerts, you will see your own alerts. So first of all, for myself personally, my own alerts, I am an upcoming removal, and I'm upcoming for a leader removal as well. So I'm going to lose my title and I might be removed because I haven't placed my order for the last few campaigns. In my G1 alerts, I can see the same sort of information, but now I'm looking at my generation 1. So I'm looking, what will appear here is anyone who is within my first generation that hasn't placed an order. So those will be my LOA zeros, any late payers, anything like that. I'm going to see alerts here so that I can quickly action them. If I click on any of these, it'll take me to the report with filtered to those people specifically. So yeah, I'll be filtered to the generation 1s. And I'll be able to see exactly who is giving me an alert. So who is the LOA 0 who hasn't placed their order, etc. And remember that from any of the reports, you can communicate with them. So if you click over here, it's going to say, okay, how do you want to communicate or what do you want to do? Yeah. So first of all, I could download this to Excel. So if I had a whole list of them and I actually feel more comfortable pulling it all into Excel and working with it there, I can highlight them all and I can download them to Excel. Or I can choose, if I'm on my mobile phone, which I'm not on now, I can choose to SMS them because I have a SIM card in my mobile device. And remember, if I SMS, I can type whatever I want to say because it's coming from my particular number. The other option I have is to email them. So I can click on email and there's no email address loaded for this guy. So it says no email title, no email message. But if he had an email address loaded, it would offer me the templates and it would allow me to send him an email. Okay. The other thing that I can do here is I can filter, or I can sort them by account number, sort them by appointment date, sort them by zone, and you'll see on each of the different reports, you've got different options that you can support them by. You can sort them by. The other thing that you can do is if you like to look at them in grid view, which is this, so you can see each business card in a list like that, you can look at it that way. Otherwise, you can look at them in a list view if you prefer to look at everyone in a list view. And it also, if they're a long list, sometimes it's better to look at it this way. The other thing which we can do from here is we can filter. So over here, when you click on that, you'll see the set standard filters that we've loaded for you. Again, they're a little bit different per report because you're looking to filter things a little bit differently based on what the report is. So in this case, I'm looking at generation ones, or which generation. I can also filter it by different leaders. So for you guys with your bigger teams, you'll be able to filter by the different leaders underneath you. And then here we're also looking at their appointment campaign because we're looking at LOA zeros. Remember that you've also got your tags here. Tags are the tags that you create yourself. So if you click on manage tags, you can create yourself a tag. And then later you can apply these tags to different people so that you can later filter them in your own personal way. So different people will want to filter people and filter their teams in different ways. So we created the tags so that you can filter them yourself. And underneath here is to reset. So if you create too many filters and you don't know what you've done anymore, you can reset and you can start it again. Okay, so that allows for you to slice and dice these reports however you would like to do. If we come back again out of our better dashboard to the home page. And we can scroll down. So you've got your G1 alerts, and then you've got your all alerts, and all alerts are going to show you all of the alerts for your full downline. Okay, so you've got your own alerts, you've got your generation 1 alerts, and then you've got your full downlines alerts. Okay, and then the full downline alerts, it's usually split up already by the leaders so that you can go into each particular leader and see exactly what's happening there. Scrolling down, you see the dashboard. So the dashboard, of course, shows you your campaign to date title, so how you're doing so far in the campaign, and then it shows you what your badge title is, the title that you had achieved last campaign, and then it allows you to see, based on the title that you're on, what are your particular goals for that one so that you can achieve that title, or you can look at next level and you can see, what are my stretch goals? How do I get to the next title up from where I am currently? The other cool thing from here is you've got your next step. So for personal award sales, your next step here is place an order so that you can achieve that. So if you click next step here, it's going to take you straight into GI3 to place an order. If you're looking at your group award sales though, you want to see, what do I need to do to achieve my group award sales? If you click next steps, it's going to already segment your team and what they've been doing for the campaign so far, and it'll show you how many inactives you've got, how many held orders are there so that you can try and get those released, how many orders are unsubmitted or pending, how many returns you've got that you need to work on, and how many small orders, so orders under minimum order value. And if you clicked on any of these, you would go to the corresponding report, and then you could communicate directly with those people and let them know, hey, I noticed you haven't placed your order yet for the campaign. Remember, you need to place your order by the 30th of April, 6 o'clock, etc. Okay, and for that we have got, let's see if these guys got email addresses. No, they haven't got email addresses. So again, it's going to give me that funny error, but we've got email templates set up for you, or you can copy the email addresses. So when you select these, if they've got email addresses, when you click on email, it'll come up in this bar, and you can copy those and paste them into your Gmail or your Hotmail or your own personal email account. And then you can type your own personalized message, because I know not all of you like to use the templates that are already set up, and that's absolutely fine. You can then just copy them into your own personal mail account, and you can type a more personalized message to them. Okay. If we come back again. So that is quite handy. The next steps coming straight off your group award sales, because it helps you action them there and then. Okay. Then for the downline structure, you don't have a next steps, but what you do have is access to the SL tree. Now my tree is going to be quite pitiful because I don't have any people underneath me. But at this point, you guys know that you will see your downline structure in terms of the leaders in a tree format. And if you want to, you can expand and contract them and see exactly who's doing what. You can also see at a glance if they are, where exactly they have a problem. So for example, if they have not achieved their personal award sales or their group award sales or their downline structure for the campaign so far, it will highlight in red. So you'll quickly see, okay, we need to work with this leader and we need to help her with X, Y, and Z. So that is a nice quick way for you to see exactly what you need to action. Coming back again. You've also got access to your SL model over here. And then if there's any additional KPIs for that specific campaign, we will have a new little dial underneath here for you that you can have a look at. And again, if there's targets set for that particular KPI, it'll also be there for you. Scrolling down, the fast start bonus. So obviously none of you guys will see the fast start bonus on your own personal account because you are past that level already. But what usually happens is for your brand new leaders, as they've just come into the leadership structure, they will still qualify for the fast start bonus, and therefore they will have this little area on their dashboard, which shows them the bonus that they could qualify for and how far away they are from each of those goals. Okay, so that's throughout the fast start bonus, they will be able to track what they need to do to achieve. Okay. Then if we come up to our hamburger menu, we've covered the dashboard. We can go into My Team. If you click on the little plus, it opens the list of reports that are available to you. So if you click on Fast Start Bonus Sales Leaders, you're going to see all of the leaders in your downline who have who qualify for the Fast Start Bonus, and then you'll be able to communicate with them and help them to achieve those next levels. LOA zero alerts, again, all those new representatives who haven't had their first invoiced order, their first order invoiced yet, or they haven't placed their first order, so that you can help them to get to that level. The late pay alerts, this one shows you all of the people who are have overdue balances, which are obviously going to, you need to drive those for your close paid sales. So that's a quick way for you to see who's got something outstanding and how you need to drive those. Title changes. So this report is not very highly utilized, but let me show you what it shows you. So this is going to, at a glance, show you who in your downline is up for demotion or who in your downline is up for promotion. And then there are templates, email templates set up for you, standard templates that would help you to spur them, so you can send them all a mail, help them to say, guys, you are just about to make your new title. Please reach out to me if you need any help, etc., etc. Or again, you can put your own personal message in your own email account for those particular people. But this is a nice one so you can see who is about to be promoted or demoted. The team profile is your whole team. So if you're ever looking to see everyone in your team and slice them and dice them, this is where you will go. You'll go to team profile and it'll pull up your full team without any filters yet when you first land here. And then you can go and filter them however you would like to, or you can create tags and you can do what you need to. This is also where you're going to see if they have open stores or not. How do you do that? You'll click on your filters over here and you can filter them all by all the yeses will show you who's got an open store. Okay. And again, if it's active. So that's your team profile. You can see everybody here and you can, again, look at them in a sideways list format or in a grid. So all of those same rules that we had spoken about on the reports apply here. You've again got lots more sorting options over here. You can search for the specific person you're looking for, etc. So everything is over here for you. I see that my account here has got an email address. So I can show you how these look. So we click on who we want to send an email to. We click email and it brings up a screen like this to me. And it's showing me that this person has got an email address and it allows me to select a template. Here is my templates. There is one to say, hey, have you downloaded Avon On yet? if you've got one for the orders that are below MOV. So you've got multiples over here, and you can have a look what they've got in them and see what suits your particular purpose. Otherwise, as I've said, you can just copy these email addresses. If you click on that little goodie, copies the email address, you can paste it into your own personal email account, sorry. Okay. Team composition is your SL tree. So that tree that we were looking at earlier, where you can see all of your downlines in a tree format, is your team composition. So you can see that here. These are your upcoming demotions, upcoming promotions. So you can see those reports that we saw in title changes. These are dedicated reports for those. Upcoming SL removals. So you can see who in your downline is about to be removed as a leader completely. Over here, we've got the recently removed. These are recently removed representatives. So these are your reps for the last 6 campaigns who have been removed, so that you can have them all in one particular place if you want to work on your reinstatements. Upcoming representative removals, these are your inactives. So your current inactive 2s that are about to be removed if they don't place their order by the end of this campaign. So it's nice and easy for you to pull them all together and communicate directly with them. Reinstated representatives show you all of the reps who have been reinstated in the last campaign, if I remember correctly. So that is a nice way. You could probably welcome them back, or you could do something nice there. Then you can look at our order management. So the order management screen is where you can see all of the current activity for your campaign. So you'll see in this list, when it loads, very slow today. In this list, you'll be able to see who's awaiting invoice, who are your inactives for the campaign, in any orders that have already been invoiced, etc. So you can see a nice little breakdown over here of what exactly is happening in your team in terms of orders. Then the last piece is your performance comparison. And your performance comparison allows you to compare your performance for the campaign for selected KPIs. You can select the campaign and you can look for 2 campaigns prior to that. So you can compare 3 campaigns next to each other and see how you're doing. So in the first little section, it's showing you the current campaign versus the prior year, same campaign. This test account didn't exist then, therefore it's all gray, but you would see your comparison versus prior year, and all the little arrows here will say whether, remember, if it's an up arrow, a down arrow, or a sideways arrow. It's letting you know if you have done better, if you have done worse, or if you have done more or less the same. Then coming down here is where we can choose that campaign to compare ourselves with. So here, let's look at February. So we select the campaign, we say apply, and then it comes back and it tells me what's happened for that campaign and the 2 campaigns prior to that. So this leader, my test account did nothing in January, nothing in December, and so far nothing in this February campaign as well. Okay, and you scroll down, you can see that comparison for all of the different KPIs. Yours won't have as many zeros. My test account is horrible. So you can see exactly what's been happening. You've also got representative KPIs, so your personal net sales, customers served, and return award personal sales, and then your store KPIs over here. Just for this data is not altogether fully formed yet, so it might look a little bit wonky, but we are working on getting that nice and up to date for you. But this will eventually be a great way for you to track the performance of My Avon store within your team. And that, in a very quick nutshell, was My Avon Office. I think we're about to get kicked out, but if there are any questions, please send them through to us, and we'd be happy to help dispel any confusion or misunderstandings or anything like that around My Avon Office. I would also love to hear any tips and tricks that you guys have figured out around My Avon Office too. Thank you. So let me try and answer these before we get kicked out. So for Alicia, WhatsApp Direct, it used to be within the tool that was removed since WhatsApp had changed their rules. So we aren't able to WhatsApp directly from the tool anymore. The late payer alerts are updated. If I remember correctly, it's at least once an hour. because it's based on, so if somebody pays right now, by the next hour, it should show as updated on your side. Okay, so it's not the same as GoMac, which GoMac updates your dashboard 4 times a day. Late payers and most of the reports are updated on a more regular basis because they're coming from the back end, not from the leadership structure. Small orders are not showing on your dashboard. I will go and have a look at that, Angie. Okay, guys, I've just got a warning. We're about to get kicked out. So please pop any of your questions through to us and we'd be happy to answer them or have another session in future so we can go through specific questions. Thanks, everybody.